Hello, strikers. London Derby time. What do you get when you put a desperate West Ham against a hungry Chelsea? 5 goals, a VAR rollercoaster, and a manager who probably needs a hug. Welcome to the season's wildest game so far. It all started so well for West Ham. Lucas Paquetá match one in from distance, and the crowd went absolutely crazy. For about 5 minutes, then came the VAR chaos. The second goal was ruled out by the narrowest of margins, and from there, the wheels fell off. The wheels fell the heck off. By halftime, Chelsea had scored 3 goals, with 5 different players eventually getting on the score sheet. The start of the show, the Chelsea attack. 5 different players, like I mentioned before. They all scored, including new signing Joao Pedro, who looked awesome. He looked so great in the game. The Blues were just ruthless. On the flip side, West Ham's new keeper, Mats Hermansen, had a home debut he would probably like to forget. Let's just say a few of those goals were less than graceful. The final score was 5-1 to Chelsea. Of course, it was an absolute demolition. For West Ham, it's a brutal start. With 2 straight losses, for Chelsea, it's a massive statement and a perfect way to launch their season. Talk about a bogey team. Manchester City hosted Tottenham at the Etihad, a place where they've had more than a few nightmares, and this was no different. Spurs continued their perfect start to the season while City looked like they were still on their summer holidays. The first half was a masterclass in efficiency from Spurs. They soaked up City's pressure and hit them where it hurts, scoring 2 quick goals right before halftime. The first came from a breakaway goal by Brennan Johnson. The second was a real kicker, a total blunter from City's new goalkeeper, James Trafford, who gifted the ball to Joao Palhinha for a super easy goal. The standout performance was undoubtedly Spurs' defense and their new man, Joao Palhinha. The guy was everywhere, tackling like a madman, and even scoring on his debut. On the other side, City's offense, led by Erling Haaland, just couldn't finish their dinner. They had plenty of chances, but the ball just couldn't go in. Haaland even missed a wide open header that had fans groaning. The final score was 2-0 to Tottenham, a massive statement win. For City, it's a shocking loss at home, raising questions about their title defense. For Spurs, it's a flawless start to the season. With 2 wins and 0 goals conceded, they're looking like a real threat. So watch out. In our next game, we head to Bournemouth as they hosted Wolves in a match that was a tale of sweet revenge and a whole lot of defensive discipline. It only took 4 minutes for Marcus Tavernier to score, which was a nice surprise. Then just before halftime, Wolves defender Toti Gomez decided to make things interesting by getting him sent off with a red card. So, despite having 55% of the ball, Wolves were a man down and had to play the rest of the game with 10 players. It was a proper back-to-the-wall performance for them. But Bournemouth's defense was just too good on the day. The final whistle blew and the score at 1-0 to Bournemouth. It wasn't the prettiest win, but hey, a win's a win for the Wolves. It's a second straight loss to the start of the season, leaving them wondering if their luck will ever turn around. Turf Moor was buzzing, but unfortunately for Sunderland, their winning streak was not. Burnley, coming off a rough start, decided to actually show up this week and delivered a solid 2-0 victory against Sunderland, side that seemed to have misplaced their goal-scoring GPS. While Sunderland held a slight edge in possession with 53% of the ball, they couldn't do much with it. It was Burnley's Josh Cullen who scored just after halftime, and then Jadon Anthony put the nail in the coffin in the 88th minute. Sunderland, who looked like world beaters last week, suddenly looked like they were playing with their eyes closed. The final score was Burnley 2, Sunderland 0, a fantastic, much needed win for Burnley, who got their season on track. For Sunderland, it was a harsh reality check. Turns out, you can't win them all, especially when you forget to pack your offense. It seems Aston Villa's offense went on vacation for this match. In a game of possession versus purpose, Brentford came out on top with a 1-0 victory. Aston Villa held onto the ball for a whooping 76% of the game. But apparently they forgot to pack their shooting boots, as they only managed 2 shots on target. Brentford, on the other hand, made their chances count. Dango Utara, a new guy to the team, scored the winning goal in the 12th minute. Aston Villa tried to stage a comeback, but Brentford's defense was as impenetrable as a brick wall, or at least a very well built one. The final score was Brentford 1, Aston Villa 0. Aston Villa must be wondering what they have to do to score, while Brentford will be delighted with a win that proves they don't need to hog the ball to get the job done. Looks like Leeds United forgot to pack their defense to their trip to Emirates. Arsenal absolutely dismantled the newly promoted side in a match that was over before it began. Despite Leeds having a surprising 30% of possession, they couldn't do much with it. Arsenal, on the other hand, made every touch count. They went on a scoring spree with new signing Jurrien Timber and star forward Victor Gyökeres both bagging a brace, and Bukayo Saka adding another. It was a 5-goal masterclass that left Leeds fans wishing they had stayed in the championship. The final score was 5-0 to Arsenal. While it was a perfect day for the Gunners, it was a brutal reality check for Leeds, who learned the hard way that the Premier League is a whole new level. Next, in a match that was a masterclass in sharing, Crystal Palace and Nottingham Forest decided that 1-1 draw was a perfect outcome. Apparently, they both brought their defense but forgot to pack their shooting boots, resulting in a game that felt more like a chess match than a football game. Crystal Palace drew first blood with a goal from Ismail Assar, causing their fans to celebrate wildly. But Forest, feeling left out, had Callum Hudson-Odoi score an equalizer in the second half. Despite having 51% of the ball, Forest will probably be happy to have escaped with a point. In the end, it was a game with more yellow cards than goals, proving that both teams were more interested in tackling each other than the ball. It was a proper defensive brawl. Next, in a game that marked their big debut at the new Hill Dickinson Stadium, Everton decided to throw a party and Brighton was not on the guest list. After a disappointing start to the season, Everton came out swinging and showed they meant business, taking a 2-0 victory against Brighton that couldn't find the back of the net to save their lives. Brighton might have more of the ball with 57% possession, but that didn't help them at all. After a scoreless first half, Iliman Ndiaye and James Garner both scored, giving Everton a well-deserved win. Jack Grealish, oh Jack, on his debut for Everton, looked like a man reborn, getting 2 assists and proving that he can still be a game changer. For Brighton, this was a frustrating loss, as they failed to capitalize on their opportunities and missed a penalty. Turns out, having all the possession in the world means nothing if you can't put the ball in the back of the net. Oh man, what a roller coaster. In a match that had more twists than a pretzel, Fulham and Manchester United settled for a 1-1 draw, leaving both teams without a win to start the season. Manchester United, with a 52% of the ball, started strong and even got a penalty, but Bruno Fernandes sent it somewhere into outer space. After a lucky own goal from Fulham's Rodrigo Muniz gave them the lead. It looked like they had a chance, but Fulham who have a flair for the dramatic, brought on substitute Mount Smith Rowe, who scored just 94 seconds later to tie the game. The final whistle blew with the score locked at 1-1. Manchester United is still looking for its first win, and Fulham continues its streak of late game heroics.